I obviously missed a decent amount while being on vacation. And I really thought that I was going to make it. I thought I was going to make it before Crosby got moved. I was feeling pretty good. And then I saw late Friday night that he got traded to the Baltimore Ravens, which honestly, like, there's so much to talk about, but that is a crazy trade. Like, I didn't think of the Ravens at all when it came to potentially getting Maxx Crosby, just because this is the first time in their franchise's history that they've traded not just 2, but 1 first-round pick for a player. So there's a lot of craziness is going on. And now, of course, we have 2 released this morning. Rashan Gary. I'm in Hawaii, and I really, really was like off my phone for a good chunk of it. Like, I was just like, gotta stay away, leaving it in the room. And I see that Rashan, because I follow Rashan Gary on Instagram, and I see he posts this big, long farewell. Thank you so much, Green Bay, the city that drafted me, the people ready for the next chapter. And then it gets deleted. He goes, never mind, I was hacked, which has to be that I don't know any hackers that put together a beautiful graphic thanking the team and thanking the city and the fans. But turns out he's getting traded. So we just traded him to the Dallas Cowboys in exchange for a 2027 4th-round pick. So thank you very much, Dallas. I got a text from Scooter just a few minutes ago going, is Rashan Gary good? So we were going to cut him. So I'm just so glad that we were able to get anything, excluding a 4th-round pick. So we found out who the hacker was.
It was Jerry Jones.
It was Jerry Jones. Oh,
yeah. I got into old Rashawn's Insta and I said, hey, you're getting the fuck out of Green Bay, Rashan.
It's a little early.
And then I'm going to give up a draft pick for you when I don't have to. Huh.
Yep. Because that ban was going to get released. When we drafted Rashan Gary, I had my doubts. But listen, he put together some really good seasons, super athletic guy. But last year, after having a really good start, he had 7.5 sacks, which was the total that he had from the year prior. He just fell off a cliff, man. And I know a lot of folks will also look at like the effort and jogging, and I think a change of scenery is good. But my biggest shock was that, 1, we got a 4th-round pick, but 2, they're taking on Rashan Gary's contract, because the reason that he was going to be a cap casualty is because like that contract was pretty loaded, because we gave him a good old extension like we did Nick Perry back in the day. So, yeah, thank you, Cowboys. I guess now we're even for Micah Parsons. So, thank you.
It is an interesting decision to try and replace some of Micah's production with Rashan Gary, of course.
But hey, Kenny Clark, Rashan Gary, back
together. Maybe that's the missing link for Gary.
But there's also there's rumors that are swirling that the Cowboys are in contention for by the way, the Cowboys were in contention for Maxx Crosby. We'll talk about that whole Maxx Crosby deal. But Trey Hendrickson, there's some rumors that are swirling around that maybe he's also the Cowboys.
There's also some rumors that the reason they pulled the trigger for Gary is because looking at Trey Hendrickson's market, they don't want to pay that. So I think we got to wait before we fully judge the Cowboys, because if they sign Trey Hendrickson, so you have Hendrickson, you have Gary, then you're like, okay, that's an all right plan going into the season. If their answer to not spending money on Trey is Rashan Gary, then we're going to have some more questions. Obviously, there's options coming up in the draft of there's going to be good edge rushers. They pick at 12. They might be able to get a guy there, but it feels very, very Cowboys-esque. Like they're just going to they were thinking about doing the right thing, just like they were thinking about extending Micah, but they didn't.
Yep.
They're not going to do the right thing. So we'll see.
I will say, if you're a Cowboys fan wondering about Rashan Gary, like he has the athleticism, don't get me wrong, but there's concerns. And it's just, he hasn't been able to live up to what the Packers were paying him these past couple of seasons. And I was really hopeful that with Parsons, he was going to be able to take that next step. But yeah, it just didn't happen. And when we needed him most, man, like he just disappeared for like 9 games last year. Like it was a tough look. So I don't think that is going to solve those problems. However, the fact that the Cowboys made a big splash in free agency last year, besides trading away Micah Parsons, not in free agency, excuse me, during the season, they have a nice defensive tackle, right? So maybe they're going to be able to get pressure up the middle. Now open up things for Rashan Gary. That's the hope here. Yeah. And like I said, maybe a change of scenery will be good with Christian Parker. But yeah, I would think that they want to do a little bit more for pass rush than just getting Rashan Gary.
Yeah, you would imagine. You would imagine.